Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Abeg Who Send Me. As you know, Abeg Who Send Me is a podcast that speaks to the lifestyle of entrepreneurs and wannabe entrepreneurs. And I'm honored, I'm grateful to be your host today. My name is Titilayo Ekundayo. I'm an entrepreneur, a proud one. And I'm so excited about today. We have an interesting person on the podcast today, and I'm sure we're going to have an exciting time. So this young man is like a brother. In short, he's a brother, and he graduated from the best university in Nigeria.
Don't brothers on me.
Okay, say that I shouldn't brothers only, but man, he's a correct guy. And what's the best university in Nigeria? You already know now. He's if a guy that will talk like that. Slam, as we usually call him, but his name is Olamide Olayinka. But we usually call him Slam, Slam has grown beyond the four walls of Great Ife. His versatility has seen him work across the industries of fashion, communication, and technology. And presently, he is the CEO at Kashbase.com, a fast-growing digital saving and investment platform. Slam, is great to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you so much, Titi. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for for always being there, and I thank you for your listening here. So Slam is one of those people that I would lament to about this entrepreneurial journey. So Slam, straight to the point, really. Abeg who send me. Is it something that is common to all? When I mean common to all, like the entrepreneurs, because sometimes like, is it only me? Is it village people? Do I need to go to the mountain, or I need to go and have my bath somewhere or something? What really is this thing about entrepreneurship and different Abeg who send me moments?
Yeah, I think it's peculiar to everybody. I mean, you're taking up a new challenge. You should expect that it's not going to be a walk in the park. So, like life, it's going to throw a lot of things across you. It's going to throw a lot of things at you, rather. And you just have to be ready to go head on at it and achieve whatever it is that you set out to achieve. Yeah, so I think it's general to everybody. Yeah.
So can you tell us about an Abeg who send me moment that you had? Does this moment come often, or is just a once in a while thing for you and then for most entrepreneurs?
I think it's often. I don't think you ever get to the point where you are free from the Abeg who send me moment, as long as you're trying to innovate and do something new to conquer the next frontier. I'm sure you always have that moment, and the earlier you realize that, the earlier you have it at the back of your mind and prepare that, at some point you're going to run into that moment, the better, to prepare for what's coming. I think it's constant to everything that you do as an entrepreneur, to run into those moments. Yeah.
Okay, so those moments, actually, do you think, paint a picture for us of one of those moments for you, and and how you were able to break free from the pains that come from those moments.
So I think I've had quite a lot that I cannot even remember. I cannot even decide which one. I'm having problems, or it's not easy choosing which one is podcast worthy right now. But I think, so let me give you one. So at the beginning of the year, without prior notice, without any warning, CBN just released the circular that affected what we do today at Kashbase. And it's not only affected, it affected like a big part of our revenue stream, and it came as a shock. So I mean, that's a that's a very huge Abeg send me moment. But the key to it is that, I mean, regulations will come and go, moments will come and go. What's important is that fighting spirit, how much you're able to go at it, how much you're able to put up with it. I think that's the most important thing.
Okay, I get you, and I think I remember that period, and it was a lot of fintechs were running up and down to try and sort the problem. But in those moments, what do you think are the things that carry entrepreneurs through? Like, what are the lifelines in those moments? Because I know those moments are probably not probably. I'm sure that they are defining moments for any entrepreneur and for any business. So how does one survive? You get the waters.
All right, so for me, I think I always say that it takes community. People that know me so well knows that I'm very conscious about the kind of people around me, association, because how you're able to come out of moments is actually a function of that. So in those moments, one of the things that kept us going was the kind of people that we have around, the quality advice that we were exposed to, and the support we got from friends and partners alike. That is very, very important for entrepreneurs. It's important that you have a community around you genuinely invested in seeing you grow and succeed. And so whenever you have moments like that provide, some kind of buffer, and they're able to hold you by the hand, even when your strength is not enough to get you through to the other side. So support system, community, very, very, very important.
Okay, I hear you, Slam, when you talk about community. Community is something that is becoming gold these days, because even your neighbor, you might not get to see your neighbor for days. Talk more of having a community of entrepreneurs. If I'm right, that's what you're saying. Is it a community of entrepreneurs, or just a support system, a community of friends that could carry you through these moments? Which one is it?
Both actually. Okay. Both actually. So, for instance, when that stuff eats, what I talked about earlier, when it eats, I mean,
the CBN,
the CBN, whatever, when it eats, okay. Most of the businesses using us, using our platform, then most of them had become partners that become an integral part of our community. So more than the shalaye that we were giving to them, that we were sending to them, mails, calls, and all of those things, they were invested in seeing that we succeed. And it's vice versa too. So because of that, they were ready to, stay with us to the very end. So yeah, that works. And at the same time, community again as the people that you have as your mentors, the people that you have as your models, the people that you have as the people that you listen to. Yeah, I think it's important to intentionally build that around you. I know what a lot of entrepreneurs do is that they kind of constantly wish that they have that, but I think you don't just wish that you have that. I think you must constantly go at it. You must constantly and very intentional about it. Say, oh, I really need to build relationships in this aspect of my life. I really need to build connections for this purpose. I think you have to be intentional about the quality of people and community around you. Yeah.
Okay, so beautiful. I think we hear about networking and don't work alone kind of thing. But for people that are just starting, imagine if I just want to be an entrepreneur. I'm just in the first, let's say, 30 days or 100 days of my work as an entrepreneur. How is community built? So how do you become a part of a community? Do you understand my question? Like, okay, because
Yeah.
people go out and they say, okay, so I'm going out to network, and then they come back without talking to anybody, or maybe they talk to one person and come back. So how do you become a part of a community? Because I believe that this thing is not built overnight.
Yeah.
Friendships and all of that. But how is it done? How can it be
Yeah.
cultivated in such a way that when the storm comes, which always comes, it's part of life, and then for an entrepreneur, it's like the storm is every other day. How do they make sure that how do we make sure that you are positioned in such a way that you are not alone?
Yeah, I think fundamentally as an entrepreneur, you are a salesperson. So when I say that, I don't mean that you're on the streets hawking your products and services all the time. But I think you must be able to, tell the story of whatever it is that you're doing, because how do you want them to be invested in what you are doing if you cannot, explain, if you cannot paint a vivid picture for them to commit to? So I think that is the first place to start. Talking to the people about what is it that you're doing, what's the idea on your mind, the vision before you, the dream you want to achieve. That's where it starts from. And then as you do that, you are able to get people that are actually genuinely interested in it, and then go on the journey with them. So I think the first place to start from is telling your story. And what that does is that it holds you accountable, because the next time that person sees you, if that person is genuinely interested, it comes up, oh, you said you were going to do this with the brand. How far gone are you? How much have you achieved? You understand? So I think it's important to tell our story, because as we do that, we are held accountable.
Okay, so it's more like looking for accountability partners, and
not exactly, but
okay.
that's one of the plus that comes with it.
Okay.
It's not the only thing, but that comes with it too. When people are genuinely invested in what you're doing, when you tell them about it, it kind of, every time they see you, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
But where these people they Islam? Now the question be that, say, where can we find these people actually?
Yeah, the support of your dreams they are everywhere. You never can tell. I mean, there's a saying that a closed mouth is a closed destiny, and it's very, very true. The person that will get you to your next 50 customer is probably your neighbor, but you never know if you don't open your mouth and talk to them about what is it you're doing. I mean, if wherever you stay, if you're trying to get a new if you're trying to get a new accommodation, a new space, and you just stay in your house and all you do is just go on the internet and just look for beautiful places around, if you don't talk to someone, you won't get a place. Yeah, so the same way it works with finding support, building a community around what is it you're doing. It starts from talking about it with people.
Okay. Noted, Slam. You said something while you were talking about community. You said you must learn to sell yourself as an entrepreneur. A lot of people will say, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm not a salesperson. I've heard it a whole lot of times that I'm doing my business, but I'm not good with sales. So do you think it's something do you think it's a cap an entrepreneur can afford to wear, to say, I'm not a salesperson?
Yes, I don't think you can be 100% at everything. I think what you have to do to fix that is go on that journey with someone, or find a way to fill the gap for that purpose. If you're not a great salesperson, make sure that you have great salespeople on your founding team that are able to get you
so Slam,
that sales.
Slam, I get that. But I'm saying that I hear some people say, I am not a salesperson. You know that there's a Yoruba saying that says that akpe moral akpe temidiri or something. Like, is how you call yourself is how people will call you, or maybe that's not the perfect proverb I'm looking for. But then it's like I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm shy and I don't like sales. so I'm not talking to anybody about my business because I'm shy. And then
No, no, no. I
cannot be
think it's
seen.
different.
So
I
that's the
think
angle I'm
I,
coming from. So I understand that you can't be A in everything. But then some entrepreneurs will say, I'm not a salesperson. That's why my business is not moving because I'm shy. Do you think it's possible for you to be an entrepreneur and then you can be shy? Is it even possible to be an entrepreneur and be shy?
yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so. Um, and I think at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to, because of the way they say that the dream must be big enough that it gets you to do stuff out of your comfort zone. So yeah, I get that you can be shy, but you must really want it badly that you say, you know what, I'm going to talk to this person. But at the same time, I really think that you can be an entrepreneur and you are not great at sales, but that does not excuse you from talking about your idea. That does not excuse you from telling that story the way you're saying it. You have to, because I mean, look at great leaders all over the world, across sectors, across different areas and walk of life. What is peculiar to all of them is that they are able to sell that dream. I mean, look at the biggest revolutions we've had: Martin Luther King, even Obafemi Awolowo down here, and yeah, there are people, Mahatma Gandhi, even extremism. You have to be able to sell that vision that it's in your heart. Yeah, Hitler. I mean, how are you able to inspire a whole generation to believe in what you're doing? I mean, the vision started from your own heart. The only way to get it into the next person's heart is talk to the person about it, sell that story, paint that picture as vivid as you can, from your mind to that person's heart. You understand? So I think you must find a way to always tell that story to the people that you come across.
Okay, from what you said, Slam, are you saying that, am I correct to say that you are saying that one of the fundamental qualities you must have as an entrepreneur is to believe in yourself and your dream in such a way that you can stand in front of the whole world, even if you're an introvert, and sell your dream and talk about your dream? Is that what you are implying, saying in clear terms?
Yes, yes. And without being unfair to people that are shy, I'm saying even if you cannot stand in front of the world, you must find a way to get that message out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how? Because I'm hearing a lot of believe in your dreams, and I know that life in itself bring situation to us that torment our dreams. Even it's Abeg who send me moments. There are moments, I've had moments where I feel like, okay, who even send me go on to be an entrepreneur? Why can't I just go and pick up a 9 to 5? I know that jejely at the end of the month my account will do bagam. So I think part of the struggle we have as an entrepreneur is a war against self-belief, war against believing in our dreams. So how do you think that one can create a buffer for this kind of thing? Number one, how do you keep the fire of your dreams alive? How do you ensure that you don't get tired even when you have a reason to get tired?
I think it takes discipline, discipline, laser beam focus, because you're not always going to be motivated. I mean, even when you set out, it's not going to be exactly how you planned it to be in your heart. When you think about ideas, they are always so beautiful in your heart. They look so interesting. You're already having your headquarters on the island, one Banana Island. You already see people walking in and out of your office demanding your product and service. Now, when you start up, it's not exactly going to pan out like that, and that's where discipline comes into play. I think that what separates the people that who achieve great stuff and people who do not is that discipline, is that they are doers. It's not that they are motivated to do it. It's not that result comes the very moment they set out to do stuff, but it's because they are disciplined to see and follow through whatever it is that they've started. And that's very, very important for entrepreneurs to be able to, stay with whatever it is that they've started to a very, very reasonable conclusion. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you said that, stay with whatever you started. So, what I like to believe there's a thin line between, okay, so something is not working and then you are staying with it, or something just needs time. Is there a way that is easy to demarcate this? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's a Yoruba saying that says that ogede mbaje lo pon, and which means that a plantain is getting spoiled and you're saying is ripening, which means that there's a thin line between it ripening, as in when it's totally ripe, and then when it starts to get spoiled. So when do you know, oh, okay, this thing is not working, it's time to move? And when do you know, okay, it's time to, I should still stay with this thing? It needs more love, it needs more incubation, it needs more focus, it's almost there.
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier about community, I think quality of advice is very important. I think you don't have to go through some errors. You don't have to go through some stress if you have people in your life who are able to provide you with insight. I mean, I've enjoyed that with some of my advisors. Sometimes something is so interesting in my head, I go to talk to them and they give me, countless examples of people trying to do the same thing and it's not worked. And it's not to say that if you try it, it can't work, but already what they do is that they've provided another outcome for you that you're able to measure whatever it is that you want to do with. And then when you start seeing elements of those outcome that they talked about, you get the signs. You understand? It's not as if you are fighting blindly or you are going at something blindly without what the outcome will be. You understand? Yeah. So most times when they provide those examples, when they provide those advice, what it helps you to do is that you have outcomes in mind that you are looking out for, and then when you start seeing them, you're like, they want me about this. Oh, she want me about this. Oh, okay. This is not looking like it. I better drop this.
Okay.
Yeah, like markers, like signs. So when you start seeing them, you're like, oh, and that's not saying that you should not go at it at all. But then you have to keep, you have to be on the lookout for that. It's just the way when you go out to speak to investors and they start asking you questions about regulatory, about things that they think won't make whatever it is you're working on work. And then right there you can talk, I don't want to say talk shit or just try to sell yourself and say
English.
No. And just speak the English and say, no, we've accounted for this, no, this won't be a problem. You understand? And then when you now go back and then it starts becoming a problem, you're like, this is actually,
what did I say?
This is actually a big problem that we didn't exactly plan for. So those are markers that say to you that, stop, you need to innovate. And what that means is that it's not that shut down. No, what it means is that you need to find a way around this. That's what it means most times. It's not that shut down. It's not stop whatever you are doing and go back to what it means is that go back to zero, find a way around it, innovate around it, and move on. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Slam. It has been great having you on the podcast. So one last question. If you want to describe an entrepreneur's life, Can you use 5 words to describe an entrepreneur's life? They don't have to be.
So I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Okay.
I think let me be.
We don't want to sugarcoat
So
it. We want it to be as real as possible.
Yeah, I want to be real as possible. I think there are a lot of people that will give them that on this podcast, but let me be the one that will tilt the balance to the other side a bit. I think an entrepreneur's life is very, very, it's lonely, and that was why I emphasized on support as much as you can, as much as you can get. It's never enough. Family, friends, partners, it's very, very important. Even team members. So
Very true.
lonely, it's chaotic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, at the beginning or at the start of that journey, you are a lot of things. You are HR, you are finance,
sales.
you are sales, and it's not that you
customer
don't
service.
have people for that. Yeah, and it's not that you don't have people for that, or it's not that you've not hired for that. Well, most times you cannot even afford to hire for that. But even when you do hire for those roles, I think you need to be in everything. You understand? Because at the end of the day, it's your vision. It's most vivid in your art, and that's not an excuse for you to micromanage people. No, I think it's just that you understand what goes on in every aspect of the business. So it's lonely, it's chaotic.
Number 3.
Number 3, I think you have to be a problem solver, and as a problem solver, I mean you have to be very, very creative, very, very, very creative. Oh, you're going for an activation campaign, and when you got there, you found out that the age group you're speaking to are not the ones you planned for. Say you plan for undergraduates, and then you find out that when you got there, they are not in session, they are not on campus. You have to speak to postgraduate students. You need to iterate fast. You need to be able to, switch up, and that's just an example.
Okay.
There are lots of examples of problems that come up that you just need to find a way around it very fast. So lonely, chaotic, you have to be a problem solver.
You have to be creative, or
you have to be creative.
What's the 5th one?
And the 5th one, I think you need to be able to sell your story. Okay, you have to be a storyteller. A convincing one at that. I think at the beginning of your journey, if you find it hard to, tell the next person by your side about what is it you're doing convincingly, I think you need to go and master that art. You need to go and learn it, because the way sales is going right now, when there's a saying that the most important thing to starting a business right now is finding a community to believe in it. That once you've solved that problem, you are halfway there. Look at the kind of cult followership that Apple has today. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a more convincing story than that. It's expensive, but year on year people cry, oh, it's expensive, it's vanity, but year on year people buy it. I mean, if you look at their report, people, you understand, and you be like, where on they see this money? You understand? We're like, you don't have this money, but then you still see
this money.
Yeah, you still see the 3 cameras with people. You see 2 cars. You understand? Because that brand has found a way to sell that story to people. It's very convincing that you cannot do without that product. So as an entrepreneur, I think it's very, very important that storyteller. And I think the last one is you have to be resilient. The last word is resilience. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if your papa is Angote or $10, you even at that.
Even at that,
look at copy. Even at that.
Even at that, say
yeah,
you
even at that. Yeah, because look at copy. Look at a copy of $10. I'm sure a lot of us know copy. Look at how hard she goes, how hard she works for her brand. But still, people will still come at you and trivialize what is it you are, whatever it is you're building. And talk down on it. So you really need to, as an entrepreneur, you really need to have that thick skin, that never say that attitude, because trust me, people are going to come hard at whatever it is you're building. Maybe sometimes they are just plainly insensitive. You hear people just pass on comments on whatever it is you're doing anyhow,
I
without
sorry to cut you, Slam. I think that is insensitivity one. Then I think that probably people don't understand the principle of work, because you see Tiger Woods and people say he's a natural golfer. What does a natural golfer mean? Do you know how many hours he puts into? Look at Kobe.
Exactly.
Look at Kobe Bryant. See how many hours. Even see Ronaldo. See how many hours. So they are good, yes, but see the amount of hours and dedication they still sink into their craft. So yes, they have money. Lucky for them, but they still have to. I think that's just how life is built. You just have to pay a price. Abi?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And resilience is that thing that will get you to that other side. You have to be resilient. There are days that you will not feel like it, but you have to get up every day and show up. It's very important, because other people may go. People sometimes will leave you. At the end of the day, it's you that must stay and just see it to the end. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Slam. So I just want us to recap the 5 things you said would describe an entrepreneur's life. So that we call it.
So I said it gets really lonely. It's chaotic.
And then the solution
you have to be.
And then the solution to that is to find yourself some community to belong to.
Yeah. Then you have to be very creative. Creative. Then you have to be
a problem solver,
a storyteller. Mm-hmm. A storyteller. Mm-hmm. Creativity speaks of being a problem solver. So you have to be a storyteller, convincing story. Then the last one is resilience.
Thank you very much.
I think those are the 5. Yeah.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you very much, Slam. It's good to have you here on the podcast, and we're looking forward to have you again some other time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, thanks, guys. Thank you for listening to another episode of Abeg Would Send Me. See ya next time.